Statistics show that we have seen a steady growth in cyberbullying, and it's something that we need to discuss as educators to make sure that it's not happening in our building. So, what is cyberbullying? The definition is repeated use of technology to harass, humiliate, or threaten. Cyberbullying takes place online with the using of cell phones, computers, iPads, and usually happens on social media and gaming um, chat rooms. So, the types of cyberbullying that we could see, the top 10, are exclusion, the first one. And that's when friends purposely exclude others from online games, activities, social media, etc. Then there's harassment, and that's when others are repeatedly bullying a student on purpose. We have outing is when others publicly humiliate you by reposting a picture or a post that you have put up on social media without your permission. There is cyber stalking, and that's when dangerous people attack you and harass you through email or social media. There's scraping, and that's when someone logs into your social media accounts and they act like it is you. And this is something that I think that we see a lot of in high schools because friends give each other their Snapchat logins and their social media logins and boyfriends and girlfriends, and then they break up or then they're not friends anymore and they still have each other's account information. So this is serious, and I think that we see it a lot in high school. Of course, fake profiles is when someone creates a social media account to hide their real identity in order to hurt another person. Dissing is when someone sends a post or cruel information like videos or pictures about you online. Trickery happens when someone gets you to trust them, so you'll share secrets with them and then they share your secrets online. Trolling is when someone provokes others to respond to posts or comments by being mean so they can make them angry. And then finally, catfishing is when someone takes your information from a social media account. They steal your pictures, they take your information, they make a new account in order to deceive others. I'm sure you've seen the show. So, those are the 10 types, the top 10 types of cyberbullying that our students might see, that you might see happening with our students. The impact of cyberbullying is huge, and like I said earlier, there's a steady growth happening. Most kids have devices, so it can happen anywhere, and the impact on students' mental health is huge. They have low self-esteem, social anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, quality of life, and now more than ever, teen suicides are attributed to cyberbullying, which is super sad. Here's some facts. Most common type of harassment is mean comments. 61% of teens are bullied because of their appearance. So that really feeds into that self esteem. Facebook is the most common place of the social media websites. 70% of students experience bullying, and that's huge. Over half of those students know the bully. 95% of our teens are online, so anybody can bully or be bullied. And here's the thing, parents don't know it's happening. Most of them don't think their child would do it. And most of them don't know how to help. So that's where we have to come alongside our parents and help our students with this huge issue. Some more facts from a different source that that did some data from 2010 to 2016 said that principals reported daily cyberbullying has increased from 7.9 to 12%. Monthly has increased from 9.4 to 14.9, and occasional cyberbullying has increased from 45 to 54%. And something that I thought was interesting is that schools with cell phone rules and even policy that says they students can't use cell phones actually have a higher rate of cyberbullying. So, what does the law say about cyberbullying? Most people fight cyberbullying consequences or policy and with the First Amendment, and it has gone to court in states, but states direct it to the schools to deal with cyberbullying. Um, when the speech or behavior interferes with learning, either on or off campus, that that allows the school to step in and protect our students. So, anytime cyberbullying happens and it causes a student to not want to come to school, even if it was off campus, or it interferes with learning of any kind, that is something that the school has to deal with. Things that are not protected are substantially or material when it substantially or material disrupts learning, when it interferes with the educational process or school discipline, when students utilize school owned technology to harass. So, when our students take their Chromebooks home or their iPads and they use that to harass, that becomes a school problem too. Or they threaten other students or infringe on others' civil rights. So, um, there have been a lot of cases, won and lost, but basically, anytime that cyberbullying interferes with learning, we have to do something. And the bottom line is, if you know that cyberbullying is taking place, you have a duty to stop it, to do everything you can to make sure it stops. Discipline is not enough. You have to make sure it stops. You have to follow up. There has to be a plan in place. We have to make sure the student who was cyberbullied gets help and support, because there's long-term effects from that with mental health. And then we have to have a response to bullying that is focused, ongoing, and effective, because we don't want it to stop temporarily. It needs to be forever. So your students, if I put this in here so you can give your students 10 tips to help stop cyberbullying. They need to report it to the school first and foremost. If the person they know is cyberbullying is from Chaparral, they need to report it. Getting evidence like screenshots and saving pictures or messages helps us with proof and helps us with our case. Um, let your students know that apps and websites and gaming places, they don't allow cyberbullying, they prohibit it, and they have ways to report it where students stay, their identity stays confidential. You need to encourage your students to talk to a trusted adult like you or another teacher or counselor, parent, coaches. Um, we really need, this is important, we really need to teach our students to demonstrate care and empathy by like encourage the person that's being cyberbullied and let them know that they aren't alone. um, Students need to work together in that as well and get other friends involved to come alongside those kids and help them. And here's what works: if a student tells the other student that's bullying to stop, it is more effective. So if a student knows who it is, they need to say something and tell them to stop. And I tell my students and my own kids that omission is just as bad as bullying. So saying nothing at all is means that you're just as bad as the bully. And our students don't need to encourage it. They need to get away from sites that where it's taking place. They don't need to forward it. They don't need to gossip about it. They don't need to add emojis or make comments. They just need to get away from it. And then we need to teach our kids to stay safe. Don't let their emotions get them in trouble. Help them to resist, like knowing what vengeance is and resist that, and helping them to see places that it's not healthy and get away from it. And then I think bullying is a great opportunity for us to teach our kids that they do have voice, that they have influence, that they are actually the most influential part of our school. We believe in bottom up leadership, and our students have the most influence, and we need to help them and encourage them to be creative and to brainstorm with their friends and to use each other's strengths, and um, just help them see that they are the ones that can stop bullying. So here are my references, and thank you for listening.